What does it take to break a man's pride in a single moment? On a chilly autumn evening in Chicago, Officer Daniel Harris thought he knew the answer. The street was quiet, save for the hum of distant traffic and the soft sobs of a young boy clutching his mother's hand. The woman, Amara Thompson, stood tall, her dark eyes locked on Daniel as he snapped handcuffs around her wrists. Her son, Caleb, no older than 7, wailed, "Mama, why are they taking you?" The crowd gathering on the sidewalk murmured, phones raised, capturing the scene. Daniel, chest puffed with authority, barked at Amara to stop resisting. Though her body was still, her gaze unyielding. He'd responded to a call about a suspicious person in the affluent neighborhood, a black woman, they said, lingering too long near a parked car. To Daniel, it was open and shut. She didn't belong here. Amara's voice was steady, cutting through the tension. "You're making a mistake, officer. You don't know who I am." Daniel scoffed, dismissing her words as bravado. He'd heard it all before: excuses, pleas, threats. He tightened the cuffs, ignoring Caleb's cries, and led her toward the patrol car. The boy clung to her, his small hands tugging at her coat, until another officer gently pulled him away. The scene felt routine to Daniel. Just another arrest, another night on the job. But something in Amara's calm demeanor, her lack of fear, her piercing stare, gnawed at him. He pushed the thought aside, focusing on protocol. She'd be processed, booked, and forgotten by morning. The precinct was a blur of fluorescent lights and paperwork. Amara sat quietly in the holding area, her hands still cuffed, her expression unreadable. Daniel filed his report, detailing this suspicious behavior and her noncompliance. As he typed, a rookie officer, Jenkins, approached, his face pale. Harris, you might want to check the system again. That woman, she's got no record, but her name's flagged." Daniel rolled his eyes, assuming it was a glitch. "Flagged for what?" "Outstanding parking tickets." Jenkins hesitated, then whispered, "She's Amara Thompson, as in Captain Thompson's wife." The words hit Daniel like a freight train. Captain Marcus Thompson, the precinct's revered leader, a man known for his integrity and zero tolerance for misconduct. Daniel's stomach churned as he recalled the captain's photo on his desk, a smiling black woman and a young boy. The same boy now sitting in the precinct's waiting area, tear-streaked and alone. His mind raced. How had he missed this? The call had come from an anonymous tip, but he hadn't questioned it. He'd seen her skin, her presence in that neighborhood, and assumed the worst. Now, the weight of his mistake pressed against his chest. Before he could process it, a soft-spoken woman in a nurse's uniform entered the precinct, her badge reading Dr. Lena Carter. She wasn't there for Amara but for Caleb, whom she'd been called to comfort as his emergency contact. Lena knelt beside the boy, her gentle voice calming his sobs. She glanced at Daniel, her eyes sharp with disapproval, and revealed she was Amara's sister, a pediatrician who'd seen too many families torn apart by snap judgments. Her presence shifted the room's energy, exposing Daniel's error not just as a professional misstep, but as a human failure. Lena's quiet strength mirrored Amara's, and Daniel felt the sting of their shared resilience. Captain Thompson arrived minutes later, his face a storm of fury and restraint. He didn't raise his voice, but his words cut deeper than any shout. "You arrested my wife in front of our son, based on nothing but a vague call and your own assumptions." Daniel stammered, his excuses dissolving under the captain's gaze. Amara, now uncuffed, stood beside her husband, her dignity unshaken. She didn't gloat or accuse. Instead, she spoke to Caleb, promising they'd go home soon. Her grace in the face of humiliation left Daniel speechless. The precinct buzzed with whispers as Daniel faced suspension pending an investigation. But the real punishment was the memory of Caleb's cries and Amara's steady gaze. In that moment, Daniel saw the cost of his Prejudicia family's pain, a boy's trauma, a woman's dignity tested but unbroken. Amara and Marcus walked out hand in hand, Caleb between them, a unit stronger than any mistake. Daniel remained, grappling with a truth he couldn't unlearn. Real justice begins not with handcuffs, but with humility. Yendi.